Welcome to Spiritual and Sassy, the podcast where we bleed deep soul wisdom with authentic confidence.
We're your host,
Tressa
and Myra, and together we'll explore the mystical side of life, challenge societal norms and programming, and embrace our inner power.
Whether you're on a spiritual journey or just love a little sass, this space is for you.
Let's dive in and light up the world with a little more love.
Hello, Myra.
Hey, Tressa. We're not
This
laughing.
is so cool. We're back in a whole, well, we're back. So I guess we don't get to say that anymore.
They don't even know.
Yeah,
I know. They're like, back from where?
From what?
Space. Yeah.
I wish. I've been waiting for the aliens.
Aliens, come back. Come get me. Help. SOS.
Yeah, that's right.
Take me away.
Please come take me away.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm excited to start this podcast with you.
Yeah, I am too. You know, for those who have never heard of us before,
Which is everyone.
Which is everyone.
This is our first episode ever.
It's our first ever, minus the 50 people who listened to us previously in a different life. This is not our first podcast rodeo. Tress and I are homies, you know, previously coworkers turn homies, and we have decided to keep our momentum going outside of work and really take off. You know, I don't know how else to, you probably have a better way of saying that. Tressa's better at words than me with that. I don't.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool story. Myra and I met because we worked together for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So we became coworkers, obviously, first, and then we started to have, you know, long road trips and conversations, and we just really became great friends. And through those conversations, realized that we had a lot in common, a lot of similar beliefs, a lot of journeys that we were working on to enhance ourselves and become what we feel is a better version of ourselves. And we've supported each other through that. And, you know, Myra we no longer coworkers. We're just great friends.
We're just homies now.
We're just homies. And we talked about, you know, bringing this podcast and just being able to have a space where we can create, you know, stories and talk about energy and talk about vibration and talk about all these things that Myra and I love to talk about together, and bring that out to the world as a safe space for people to see that they're not alone in their journeys, right? Mm-hmm. It's a journey, not a destination. There's not some destination that you're going to get to. I mean, I guess some people do reach enlightenment, but I'm not there yet.
No, but you know, yes. So this is all true. This is all true, folks. And I am great, you know, speaking on the subject of journeys, it's been really a wild journey for me personally. Tressa's had a crazy journey, and then it's so beautiful that our journeys led and our paths crossed. And I know that people say that all the time, and it can be cliche in some ways, but you know, I lost my father, you know, in a stage in my life that was really pivotal, I believe, in even just like my brain development. You know, at 18, you're thinking, okay, here I am. What am I doing? What paths am I taking? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we'll dive into those types of things, you know, in other episodes. But yeah, I feel like at that time, the one thing it taught me was time is the best gift you can give someone. And, you know, I really, really believe that. And so it's changed the way I make relationships, you know, and from that point forward, you know, there were people that left my life, people I've gained in life since then. And through that experience, it's just really taught me to treasure connections and to treasure relationships with the people that I meet. And so I really feel, you know, like people come and go from jobs and they depart and they live, you know, I'm in a whole nother state for those who are, you know, that know nothing about me. You'll learn that too. I was in Wyoming and I'm in North Carolina, and surprise.
I'm still in Wyoming.
Yeah. So what's amazing is that those are real connections, you know, they're genuine connections, and it's a gift to be able to make those types of connections with people.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love when you can take something that, you know, is a tragedy of your father's passing, right? Transition. His spirit's
Yeah.
cruising around because
He's
we
hanging
like to
out.
tune into Greg every once in a while.
Yeah,
Comes to chat with
Greg's
us.
always there.
But it's cool how I think it's always an opportunity. You get the chance to either really learn from it and grow and then make it a positive, I don't love that
Hmm.
word, but an enhancement in your life, or you can really let it just bring you down.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I think time is one of the most valuable things you can give to somebody.
Yeah.
So, and really being present. I've really been working on being present. And
Hmm.
I've recognized as I've been more aware how hard it is, how it
Oh,
is
for
hard to be
sure.
present,
It is.
and how often I am not present.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree, in this phase in my life right now, that's the number one thing that I've had this massive pause, whether or not I wanted it. And it's helped me to really think about how am I present in my life personally, like present for myself, or not just going through the motions. And, I think about like back in the day when you clock in and you clock out, with your little
Mm-hmm.
time slip,
Yeah.
like how am I not doing that with my own self and my own needs and then the needs of those around me, whether it be a family or a friend or, whomever I'm spending my time with, how am I really being present, and just enjoying those experiences as they are. And so I think it's really neat, if you're listening here, like we're saying, time's valuable. So if you're choosing to spend your time with us, thank you. We're excited to do this. We're excited to share our thoughts and we think we're awesome and we have pretty good conversations, I
I think
think.
we're pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because the whole thing that we talked about when we talked about, like, if we were going to do a podcast, we want to be able to have a platform where we can be really vulnerable. And
Hmm.
vulnerability is really hard for people.
Yeah.
I think in general in society, right? And so many people are walking around as like a shell of who they are and with these personas and it's a lack of vulnerability
Hmm.
that causes that. So, I'm sure as we start to really dive into this and record episodes, there'll be tears and stories
Yep.
and laughter. And that's the beauty of being a human. We're
Yep.
meant to have emotion, right? We're meant to have these contrasted spaces and experiences so we can continue to grow
Yeah.
and become more elevated. Oh,
Yeah. I actually saw this thing and it said one of the highest spiritual forms is actually being a human. We're always searching for everything outside of us in our human form.
mm-hmm.
And really one of the most spiritual things is being a human right now. Like we are this being and tuning into what it means to be human.
That. And I mean, I am passionate about spirituality. And just a little background, I was not raised in an organized religion. And then in high school, I was in a community and was dating who is currently my husband, high school sweethearts, dating somebody who was Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of pressure for me to be baptized because they were pretty sure I was going to go to hell if I didn't have some kind of water thrown on me, I guess. Anyway,
Surprise.
dabbled in that a little bit. But at the time I got baptized into that religious structure, it was really just as for me to be conformative into what made other people comfortable. I mean, I was 16. I didn't know what the hell I
Yeah.
was doing. So the spiritual part of this that I want to make sure that people who are looking for spirituality, it's there. It doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
to be through an organized religion, and if an organized religion works for you, that's great as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. But if it doesn't quite fit, then, we want this to be a space where you can learn and grow the way that I have. And I
Mm-hmm.
consider myself extremely spiritual, use
Yep.
energies and gifts and enlightened energies, that exist wherever they exist, what we can call the other side or whatever form they're in, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully people can find a home here for that too.
Yeah. I agree. Spirituality is what you make of it. And, you know, like even being human, you can find these moments of this spirituality just being present with yourself in the small moments. There's not a real definition, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It could be even just as simple as quiet moments with your children. That could be spiritual to you. You never know. It's one of those things. So if you're looking just to think outside the box or move out of societal norms and stop thinking about the constructs that people are putting around what spirituality is, this is the place for you.
Yeah, I mean, being with your children, being present Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, I find a deep sense of spirituality when I'm in nature.
Mm-hmm.
I literally go and embrace trees. I feel their energy. I talk to them. I
Yeah.
gain information. There's so many different ways that you can there's no, like, I love what you said. There's no definition. Every
Yeah.
person can express it and kind of utilize it in whatever way works for them. That's the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of it.
Yeah. I agree.
And we're here to help.
Yes.
We're here to help.
Yep. I'm not as masterful in some of the ways that Trista is, so I'm here for comic relief. I'm just kidding. I'm. It's been a journey, and I feel like my journey has been, I don't know. I feel like it's been not. Basic's a terrible word. It's not coming to me how I want to say this, but it's been a momentum. It's been this motion that's moved forward, and there is a lot more out there. I'm not claiming to be the shaman of the world here or anything, because that's not you're not gonna. I'm sorry, I'm not it. But what I've learned and what I'm able to do with what I have learned is turn it into this digestible knowledge that's not so scary or intimidating or so overwhelming to some people. And I really feel like that's been my gift with my spiritual journey, is being able to take it and bring it into this level of understanding for all types of understanding.
Yeah, and I love that too. I mean, we would sometimes words are just so ineffective to describe
Yeah.
certain things, right? We have to use them because that's how we learn and communicate right now. But I think it's cool because actually, when this kind of came about, I am an energy practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
and we were doing a session on Myra. I was
Yeah.
working with her energy, and this, like, kind of download for this, and even the podcast name came.
Yeah.
And as we kind of moved into the conversation about it, there were a few times where I got a little nervous, if I'm being completely transparent,
Yeah.
which I always am. And I'm like, is this gonna work? But as we kind of put our energy into it, everything aligned with ease and
Yeah.
grace. And it was just, and I also think like the contrasting journeys are going to be helpful. You've been on yours maybe a little bit shorter
Yep.
timeline just because I've been in the world longer too,
Yeah.
but we'll be able to help speak to that in different
Yeah.
ways, I think. And I think that's partly why I believe in divinity. Divine timing
Yeah.
happens. We were definitely meant to partner up and fill a gap here. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
So this is our intro episode. You kind of get to learn a little bit about us.
Yeah.
And
So if you
then
like
more to
it, come back. Yeah.
Yeah, please come back, click, follow, all the stuff
Yeah.
that you're supposed to do on whatever
Subscribe.
platform you're.
Stare at us.
Yeah, subscribe, follow us, like us, comment. I'd love to hear comments, as we kind
Yeah.
of start rolling through, like, what topics do you want to hear about?
Yeah. I agree.
What kind of
I'd
things
love
do you
it.
want to, yeah.
Because y'all know more than we do with that too. If there's any interest or whatever you're looking for, totally open to that. Because, it gets me outside of my sphere
Yeah.
in my own situations.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I think that might be a wrap for today. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Well,
All right. Well, until next time, keep those vibes high.
and stay sassy.